So I think my favorite part of us watching Gridman was when you saw the Trigger logo and you went, "Yay! Anime is saved!" To which I then followed it up with, "Well, this is a collaboration. Didn't that also be a thing with Darling in the Franxx?" So, how would you compare this to Darling in the Franxx?
I wouldn't, not in public.
Don't want to admit you watched Darling in the Franxx in public?
I'll admit that all day. I have documented evidence where I'm like, around episode 4, like, guys, this anime's not good. What's everybody talking about?
I still remember you being like, wait for it, man. The other shoe's gonna drop, and it's gonna be amazing. You're just waiting for it. You're like, it's doing this weird tightrope thing where I don't know what side it's gonna fall on. And then when it fell hard, apparently.
But it took most everybody else, 15 more episodes to figure it out.
So, Gridman was a series that I was actually looking forward to when it was first announced.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it's just that brand recognition thing. I'm like, I know that. That's Superhuman Samurai. I watched 2 episodes of that as a child. And that's about all. I remember, kid from Boy Meets World gets sucked into cyberspace to mend and defend, and it was basically just their Power Rangers knockoff / Ultraman knockoff that was made by the Ultraman people.
The weirdest Freakazoid sequel I've ever seen.
Man, yeah, I know, shit, now that you mention it, it does kind of have a little bit in common with Freakazoid. I kind of wish we had just watched 3 episodes of Freakazoid, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to this. I'm like, oh, Trigger is doing this throwback to an old one-shot tokusatsu. That's really cool. The last time I saw an anime adaptation of a one-shot tokusatsu was Kikaider. And Kikaider was fucking awesome. I don't feel the same way about Gridman. How about you? Oh man, you have to think about it. You're not even
because I can't figure this fucking show out. It's nothing I saw was bad.
Yeah, no, but nothing about it was good except for that one 1 minute scene that was trigger as fuck in episode 3 where coked out Goemon jumps through a fucking window, smashes through it, lands on a desk, and the momentum takes him off of it and he still tumbles regardless. That was a great little bit of subtle animation. He grabs him, takes him out the window. Everything else beyond that, though, was just traditional goofy anime hijinks where he's just kind of jumping off rooftops, carrying the guys, and throws them into the room. Yeah,
so it's now and then animated really well when it gets trigger as shit. I love the character designs. The anime's pretty to look at. It's doing some interesting things. It's just there's a lot of shit you can do in an anime that either reads as really cool or really pretentious, depending on the overall quality of the show.
Yeah, see, I feel like the show was going to land on the side of pretension, because just that first episode, the first 2/3, you get the cold open, kid has amnesia. We still don't know what that's about, but he has amnesia, and it's just him talking to people, him interacting with students, but there's no soundtrack. There's no energy to the scenes. They're just characters talking.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of talking head shits going on for the first 2/3. And then, oh fuck, there's a kaiju. Oh fuck, I'm a Sentai, and I'm gonna go have a kaiju battle. And then the episode ends, and everything's reset. And it's okay. There's literally no music until the action happens, and it's not even the music itself is particularly interesting. The only reason the music stood out is because there had been no music up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just the intro is so flat and lifeless. It's not it's shot in an interesting way. It's not what the things that characters are saying are particularly interesting. It's just teenagers having conversations, and as someone who watches Slice of Life and genuinely enjoys it, fuck, this was boring. Because I'm like waiting for like that shoe to drop, and then it kind of drops in like the least interesting way, where it's just like there's a kaiju, he's the Gridman, they had the battle, it's over, and it's just like
everybody's way too calm about everything that's happening.
Yeah,
it's just it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. The show's really weird.
Mm-hmm. You have fucking like I almost called it like Lolly Digimon Emperor, like fucking Kmart Yugi Nagato as the villain, which we don't find that out until episode 2. Because like episode 1's just like, this girl's weird. I wonder what her deal is. I'm expecting her to be like the other love interest. Oh no, she's the villain. You had to just make the villain like the cute anime girl who's probably a psycho for the yandere crowd. All right.
I don't know. I don't think yandere. I think she's just going to be straight up evil.
Maybe. Just like I'm curious like how psycho they're going to go, because right now she's like kind of autistic crazy. You know, like she took someone bumping into her as reason to, yeah, that one needs to die. Or like girl accidentally knocks her food out of her hand with a volleyball and apologizes. Dead.
She should not have been playing inside with that volleyball. That's carelessness.
It is. Also, not a murder offense.
Look, if we're ever going to build this glorious utopia, we have got to start culling the herd. First thing to go, inconsiderate high school girls.
Yeah, alright.
I mean, so she's basically like Yagami.
Yes. Except I really like Light Yagami, and I agree with his philosophy. I don't quite understand Yuki Nakato's autistic genocide plan that she's going with. It just, you have vexed me today. Fuck you!
I mean, let's be honest. Back in high school, if you could just make kaiju...
Oh, yeah, no, I would have been that girl all day long. But I'm like a grown-up now, so I can't relate to that anymore. Shit. Like, now that you phrased it like that, you made me have to actually think about 14-year-old me, and I go, I'd kill them all. Would want and abandon. Fuck all of you. Okay, yeah, now I understand the villain character of this series. I just had to put myself in the mindset of my 14-year-old autistic, vengeful self. Got it. Alright. But yeah, so there are just so many, little weird things in this. At the beginning where, nobody could see Gridman in the computer, but then they could see Gridman, but then they couldn't hear Gridman, but then heroin-addicted Goemon shows up and tinkers with the computer, and now everyone can hear Gridman. It's just it's like a weird progressional thing. And it's just why not just cut out the middleman and have them...
Well, that's the thing. There's so much stuff in this series so far that makes me think that maybe this is all going to end up having been a metaphor for something.
Which...
Like the weird juxtaposition between the slow pacing of the first episode and how trigger shit gets sometimes when the kaijus come out, and...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all gonna end up having meant this, and I don't know.
I just feel like what it's gonna end up meaning is just because it's just... Like I said, the first episode comes off as pretentious as shit. Just, the just very monotone characters, the complete lack of soundtrack. It's oh, we're setting an ambiance. And then it just turns into Sentai schlock in the last bit. And then it just kind of evens out, but it's still weird, and I don't know what the fuck this show is doing. I have 3 episodes.
That juxtaposition is probably on purpose.
Yeah, it's intentional. I don't know what it's trying to convey with that. And because we're 3 episodes in and that other shoe is yet to drop, and they have yet to give me anything really interesting other than we're doing goofy Sentai shit, but then also we're really serious. And, this chick's a psycho, and this kid is like a kaiju also, but like I think might also be her pet that she feeds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So far, like the best thing in the series has been Caliber. Like and mostly just because of that 1 30-second scene of him smashing through that window, tumbling over a desk. Like,
like he has the first bit of trouble in that second or third fight, and they're like, "Can you turn into a sword again?" He's like, "Yeah," and then he just does it.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with all three of the main kids having the same eyes?
I haven't even noticed that.
They all have the same blue eyes.
Oh, like you mean with that weird pattern in them?
The same color and shine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't notice their eyes, but I did notice Yuta's eyes. Like, he had, like, that weird kind of, almost kind of code-looking shit in his eyes. And I just assumed, like, oh, because he's the Gridman. He's the special.
I think, did all the new people have those eyes, too?
Oh, God, I didn't even notice. Probably. It's probably some sort of aesthetic thing. Like, if you could see the Gridman, you can...
And what the fuck were the Neon Genesis
junior high? Yeah, junior high school. I was like...
The fuck is even happening? This show is a pile of stuff.
Yeah, no, it's really weird.
It's taking its sweet time sifting through it.
Yeah, and I find it really weird that it's the Neon Genesis high school, and these are former Gynax employees. And I'm like, are you guys just referencing your own work and kind of jerking yourselves off? Because that's Studio Kara's job.
I mean, if you were a former Gynax employee, wouldn't you spend the rest of your career doing that?
They made Fooly Cooley also. I almost said Fooly Cooley 2, but I didn't want that to be misconstrued because I'm never watching Fooly Cooley 2. You let me know how that goes, because I know you'll do it eventually.
Oh, God, I may be able to avoid it entirely.
I'm surprised your brother hasn't watched it yet. He's like the big Fooly Cooley one.
Yeah, but I mean, any idiot could smell that show coming from a mile away.
But I mean, isn't your brother currently watching like sci-fi schlock right now? So I feel like his standards has been like tossed in the garbage ever since he became a dad.
I mean, honestly, during the slower moments of this show, the slower scenes from Fooly Cooley is what I was picking up.
You know, yes. Totally, yes. Artistically, no. Because it's slow. It's like the sound effects, the overall atmosphere. I can agree with that. Mm-hmm. But you'd always have, like, the framing of every shot in Fooly Cooley is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Like, and is interesting and usually tells you something about the character, like, and implies, like, loneliness or discomfort or something. None of these scenes conveyed anything because it was just flat-on shot of high school classroom, flat-on shot of, like, the computer room, flat-on shot of them, like, walking down the street. Like, at no point was it shot in any kind of visually striking way, which is weird because this is Trigger, and I really feel like artistically this should look better. Mm. To be fair, though, my frame of reference for Trigger is, like, 3 episodes of Kill la Kill and, like, half of Ninja Slayer. Look, I have a weird history with modern anime, okay? Like, Weeaboos has led me in some weird directions that I'm not okay with.
Didn't fucking watch Kill la Kill.
You know why? Because I heard it was getting a Blu-ray release, but it got a Blu-ray release through Aniplex, and I don't feel like getting a mortgage out, like a mortgage loan, just so I could buy some box sets. I was already giving them hundreds of dollars for the fucking Monogatari series. Mm-hmm. I can't afford 2 Aniplex series at a time. That's insane. God damn. Ugh.
So, Gridman, like, it's not sci-fi enough to be interesting sci-fi.
Yeah.
The kaiju fights aren't hype enough to be a hype-ass kaiju show.
Yeah.
It just won't go in one direction, and just it ends up being really weird.
Yeah. Honestly, the way you're describing that kind of reminded me of how I would describe Sword Art Online when I was first watching it. I'm like the action sequences aren't frequent enough to be a great action series. The romance is really spotty, so it's not really good. It's not a good romance series. the fantasy or like the whole trapped in a video game elements are kind of glossed over. So so it didn't really have that aspect. It was just kind of like it much like Sword Art Online. Like this series does things, but it never leans hard enough into any of them to stick the landing or be like exemplary in any particular field. It's just kind of like, here's a little bit of this, and here's a little bit of this thing, and here's a little bit of this thing, and it's like, but it isn't actually amounting to anything. It's just like, you have like all these classes with like a little bit of each, and it's just...
Which is why, like I said, I feel like this show is going to keep going for a while and then take a left fucking turn somewhere.
Right? Like, I feel like I'm just going to have to, like, wait for, like, 6 months when Mother's Basement does a video giving, like, the yay or nay. And even if he gives it a yay, I might still give it a nay because like, I don't like a lot of stuff he ends up liking. But, yeah, no, just... like I said, I loved how you started us off with anime is saved. Like, plot twist. No, it wasn't.
So you didn't watch Kill la Kill, so you don't know. Anime was saved.
And then anime sold out so they can make actual profits. Because nobody cares about art anymore, Aggro. It's all about that bottom line. How many figures can we sell out of this? Which really, there are not enough pretty anime girl designs. Like, you have main girl, but she's kind of regular.
No, like
you have purple hair.
I'm a huge sucker for secondary and background high school girls in anime.
But I feel like the cutest one of those they killed off in the first episode.
They absolutely did.
Volleyball girl was the cutest, and they killed her off. Like, I mean, you got, like, purple hair, which, honestly, I don't know what the hell the girl from Eromanga Sensei is doing in this series, but, she's already pushing more Eromanga merch right now, so I don't think she's going to be pushing any merch for this show.
This whole, like, Shakugan no Shana-esque, oh, they're dead, but nobody remembers them thing. Like, that's interesting. God, like, everything in the series, it's either going to pay off or just be really frustrating.
Yeah, it's like all these things, like,
it's too soon to tell.
Like, and I feel like these episodes aren't doing a whole lot. It's a whole lot of, like, just kind of fluff. And then the action stuff happens, and then we introduce, like the Caliber sword, and then a bunch of fluff. Then, oh fuck, the Neon Genesis Junior High members show up, which one of them is like 8 feet tall and wearing a shredder mask.
I wouldn't call the rest of the episodes fluff. It's all, like character interaction and development. And,
okay, development is a very strong word. Interaction, I'll give you.
No, we are figuring out what main girl's deal is, because she has one, and she is holding on to it. And we are little by little figuring out her weird high school girl psychosis.
Wait, which one? Purple hair or black hair?
Black hair, main one.
Okay. Because honestly, like, she feels like so little of a character. That
she's in there somewhere.
All of these characters feel... I'm like, I want, like, the main dude to be, like, best guy ever / Taishi levels. Like, the side guy with the glasses. Like, I want him to be that type of... I want him to be that type of character, that kind of awesome support character.
He's right where his archetype is at. Look at his glasses. He's exactly that guy.
Yeah, he's Joe from Digimon. I get it. He's neurotic and, like, I'm here to support. I don't actually do anything, but I'm the best friend character.
I mean, somewhere out there in this city, there is a children's card game crying out for a hero, and main guy is just not answering the call.
I'm still waiting for his morphin to pop into a dual disc. I do like the fact that he covers his his morpher with a wristband, because I didn't even realize that that's what that was there for until like his
thing's like 2 inches thick, and he's just got a wristband over it.
So, what was it? One of the things that kept bugging me is that they keep that one fucking guy keeps mentioning it's like, oh, like in the Ultra series, this happens. I'm like, thank you, Mr. Meta. I didn't realize this was a throwback to the Ultra series. Didn't give it away at all. Jesus Christ. And I love how it's like,
Look, you're talking about a targeted demographic that wasn't born when everyone forgot about that.
I feel like they still do that transformation sequence for. Shit! I remembered the slice of life that I was trying to remember that scene from. God damn it! Fucking Zoku Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei did it. Yeah, fucking Chiri did the transformation thing. Then she reenacted the Unit 2 fight from End of Ava, and then called her, like, oh no, did the God Fingers. Man, that was still like the dopest pile of... Nobody here is going to know what the hell I'm talking about. You guys should all watch Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei. It's a much better show than this. What? It is.
I don't know if anybody can hear you from down there with no leg to stand on. Telling people they should go watch something. I'm
just saying, this anime season so far seems pretty bland. Oh my god, that Crunchyroll map of the US.
Oh god.
That broke my heart.
Just solid fucking
Goblin Slayer across the entire United States. I'm like...
You go up into Canada and it's like Goblin Slayer along the south, JoJo is up in the north, and then Quebec is that new fucking sword art. So fuck them.
Right? Like... Is it Rosa in Quebec?
Maybe.
She's French-Canadian. Something. But yeah, just... I had such high expectations going into this. Like, it's not even like, and I feel like no matter what I say, because the thing is, if I go in with expectations, you set your expectations too high. If I go in expecting something's gonna suck, you just wanted it to suck, so of course you thought it sucked. It's like, I can't fucking win. Like, no matter what expectation I had, if I don't like something, I'm in the wrong. I hate the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious because this actually did get voted. Like, I asked him, what should be the next one we do? Because it was this, the Bunny Girl Senpai, and the Slime one, and this one won by a landslide. So, like people have to be watching this and liking this. So, if you are liking Gridman, explain to me why. Because I don't get it. I'll actually read these comments for once. I will read them, and because I want to understand why people are enjoying the show, because I'm just like, it feels just, it's an anime. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing that this show is doing so far that I haven't seen done better in several other shows. Shit, there are... Like the music isn't noteworthy, the animation, except for that 130-second scene of Caliber jumping through a window, has not been special. The art direction hasn't been special. The character designs, I know you like them. To me, that's what modern anime looks like. There's nothing in this series so far that has gripped me. The CGI sometimes looks really good, and then sometimes looks like CGI. And I'm like, ooh. Like, I know CGI can look better than that, goddammit. Like, I've seen, okay, I'm kind of cheating because I'm comparing this shit to, Gundam The Origin, which is an OVA. But still, goddamn. Like, I feel like CGI should have gotten better by now. But yeah, just the kaiju fights, like every so often it does, the cool pose stuff, where Gridman has, the Caliber sword, and you get that sweet fucking Gynax angle on it. It's super dope. I'm trying to think of anything else. I do like the fact that the SSSS.Gridman, that stands for Superhuman Samurai Squadron.
Cyber Squad.
Yeah, Cyber Squad. That is a great little throwback to the shitty American show, which we actually watched an episode of that. It's not better than the Gridman anime, but I will at least say it was a more interesting experience because it had Tim Curry.
It did have Tim Curry.
And it had, the main villain was, Goku Black as portrayed by the Digimon Emperor. And it was beautiful. But yeah, no, that show was garbage too. Oh my god. Now I'm kind of curious to see what the Japanese version of Gridman was like, because I was looking it up, and it seems like it's the exact same concept. 3 kids, except instead of, like, I have amnesia, and what's this mystery thing in our computer? They, like, made, like, a video game character, and the video game character was, like, possessed by the cyber agent Gridman to help, who needs these kids' help to fight these cyber monsters in the virtual world. And, like, that's the premise. But beyond that, it seems exactly the same. Like, some evil classmate is making all the monsters, except it's a guy instead of a cute anime girl. And, yeah.
I don't know which I'd rather have the American Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad crossover with. Either Code Lyoko or Ghost Rider.
Okay, you said Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Rider.
Writer, yeah, with a T. Sorry, I heard Ghost Rider and I was like, how does that make sense? Oh. You know what? Fuck it. I want Superhuman Samurai cross Wishbone.
What's the star beam?
None of you are old enough to know what Wishbone is. Watch some guys going, I remember Wishbone! Yeah. That's how I learned the actual story of Frankenstein!
There's always one or two out there.
Right? Which actually, yeah, my entire frame of reference for the actual story of Frankenstein comes from Wishbone. Not even lying.
Well, I just read Frankenstein.
Fucking nerd.